Hello everyone, welcome back into the shed. If you have not been here before, my name is Timmy. My wife and I sell online. We sell on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, Amazon, Etsy, and we do some local sales too. But getting into it, y'all, here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover what has sold between yesterday and today. Today is Sunday. It is 4:50 p.m. And this will be from about 10 o'clock yesterday up until now. We have 8 items going out, 2 over on Amazon, 5 on eBay, 1 on Mercari at the moment. But I'm also going to show y'all all the way back up to Monday what sold all this week, so you can get an idea of what's selling over on Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon, and eBay, and I don't think we had anything on Etsy this week. So let's get started, y'all. We're going to start off on eBay, and then we might move to Mercari, and then we'll move on to Amazon. And I think at the end, because some people won't really care what sold the rest of the week, they just want to know what's going out today. So I'm going to save that until the end, and then I'll do like a little screen record and show you some of the stuff that's sold on Amazon. FBM, that's what we send out of here, out of our shed, and what has sold FBA, that's what Amazon has of ours in their warehouses, and that's what they are handling for us. So let's get started, y'all. Over on eBay, we sold a Ken doll, and this item is from 1997. This is a Prince Ken doll. This sold for $16.20, and the buyer is paying shipping. Now, this was sold via promoted listing. I've had this for a really long time. I'm actually surprised this didn't make my clearance sale I have going on. I have a sale going on right now of like 5% on some items and 10% on some items. Just trying to make some room, clear some items out of some totes. I think I paid like $7. I bought a few Barbie dolls from a guy at a yard sale one day, and I think it averaged out to about $7 a piece. Next up on eBay is a pair of Hey Dudes. These are Wally's Wally Socks Try American Pride, and we paid $27 for these, and I believe this was at a local store here called 264 Shoes. They had a big sale on all their patriotic Hey Dudes, and we went and bought a whole bunch of these things. The buyer paid $54.99 for these, and they are paying the shipping. They paid $10.80 for Ground Advantage. I'm probably going to pay in the neighborhood of $7 or $8. Next up is a pair of Luke Combs Crocs. This is a size 12. Bought a whole bunch of these a while back for $24 each. I think I only have like size 12 and 13. If you're interested in selling these, keep an eye out on crocs.com. You can catch these things 2 for $50 sometimes, and they take a little while to sell, but once they start hitting, they kind of tend to roll. We sold 4 or 5 pairs of these in the past couple of weeks. Bought these right here back in February, y'all, but they sold for $49.99. Super easy to ship these Crocs, y'all. I just put this in a poly bag and ship it out just like that. Ground Advantage, as cheap as I can go. Next up, we have this Lancer paintball gun that I picked up at a yard sale for like $3. Cleaned it up a little bit, listed it. It's been listed since September of 2023, so that's been a while, y'all. Paid $3 for it, and it sold for $26.99, and the buyer is paying $11.40 for Ground Advantage shipping. I will probably be able to ship it priority for less than that. And the last item that sold on eBay today is this Rusty Wallace action car. It's a die-cast car. Not sure what year it's from. I know it's a 2005 Charger, but I don't know what year this is. But I got this on the 301 Endless Yard sale just a couple weeks ago. Don't have video footage of any of that. It was super hot, y'all, and I did not feel like dealing with a camera strapped on me or anything. So just my wife and I went out there and we picked up some stuff. Hopefully you'll see some more of this stuff sale here shortly. But paid $5 for this. I got 3 Rusty Wallace cars from one guy, $5 each. This right here sold for $29.99, and the buyer paid $10.10 shipping. I would probably put this in a priority mail shoebox and ship it out priority, and it will still cost me less than $10.10 to ship that. Now we're going to ease on over there to Mercari at something that just sold yesterday. I didn't mention it, but we actually went to the beach yesterday, so we didn't do any shipping yesterday except for right before we left. So these sold after we left, and just getting around to shipping them out today. These are a Wally youth shoe, stars and stripes, and you can see the box top is cut off of these. I think we picked these up at a local Rack Room Shoes. Not sure exactly what we paid for it, y'all. I don't have a custom SKU over there on Mercari. So they sold for $31.50. Now that is with the buyer paying shipping, and there are no fees over there on Mercari for us, so that is awesome. Truth be told, we probably have $12 or so in these, so great profit right there. We probably made about $19 on that one sale. And yes, you can ship shoes or sell shoes that don't have box tops. You know, just make it known to whoever's buying, you know, in your pictures and your description that it doesn't have a top. Now technically, y'all, I could ship these in a box just like this, or I can put them in this box and just wrap it in a poly bag. It doesn't matter how you do it. Poly bags are cheap, so most of the time I will just put this in a poly bag. I mean, the shoes are bagged, they have a box to help support them so they don't get crushed. Some people, y'all, they just take this and put it in a poly bag and ship these hey dudes. They're super light, it's under a pound, so they easily go ground advantage, really cheap, y'all. Now I have 2 items over on Amazon. One of them is this Super Mario ornament, and it sold for $15.98. Not sure what I paid for this. We do not have a custom SKU up there for it, but most time we buy these, y'all, we spend like $4 or less, so should be pretty decent profit there. And last thing going out of here today over on Amazon is a pair of Chaco Chillos sport sandals. These are a rose color. To me, they're more of a coral, but we paid, I don't really know, y'all, probably $4 or $5 for these at a local Rack Room Shoes, and these sold for $25.48. And of course we had to pay the shipping for those. And y'all, all I do is put these in a poly bag, or sometimes I will put them in like a bubble mailer and ship them, but poly bag is normally how I do it. It's very hard to hurt these things, y'all. They're like a kind of malleable, would that be the word? A softer like rubber, and they'll be just fine. Alright, now y'all, what we're going to do is I'm going to walk us through what sold on eBay. Today's Sunday. I'm going to go all the way back to Monday of this previous week to show y'all how many things went out, what they were, and what they sold for. I'll just pop up pictures up here for eBay on one side or the other and show y'all that, because I want to leave the buyers' names out of this. When we get to Amazon, I may just scroll through and show y'all my screen and let you see it that way. But anyways, here we go. We sold a pair of Nike Team Hustle youth shoes for $44.98 with free shipping. We paid $18 for those at our last Kohl's half off clearance event. We sold 9 Christian music cassettes, brand new and sealed. I paid 90 cents total for those, y'all. Bought those things for 10 cents a piece a long time ago. They sold for $8.54, and the buyer paid $8.60 for shipping. Then we sold a Shrek 2 game for Xbox, the original Xbox, and that sold for $4.49, and the buyer paid $5.90 for shipping. Then we sold a Hooked on Phonics set. that I picked up, I don't know, y'all, it's been well over a year ago, and that sold for $29.92. The buyer paid $16 for shipping on that. And next up, my wife sold one of her old shirts, $5, and they paid $7 shipping. Then we had another set of Chaco slides, most likely came from a rack room, and we paid $9 for those. They sold for $21.99. The buyer paid $9 for shipping. We did not pay that much for shipping. Next up, we had some New Balance boxer briefs that sold. I paid $10 for those, I think at a Burlington. They sold for $21 plus shipping. The buyer paid $8.70 for the shipping on that, y'all. So not only are we making profits off of the items we sell, but a lot of times we're making just a little bit off of those on the back end on that shipping. Next up, we have a pair of legs pantyhose. Excuse me, it's 4 pair in one box. We went to Shenandoah Valley a few weeks back, and that's when I picked up 2 boxes of these, and I paid 99 cents for those pantyhose. They sold for $13.89 with free shipping. Then we have a pair of Nike Dry Fit Yoga shorts. They were brand new. Paid $10 for those back in January. They sold for $34.99, and the buyer paid $5.90 for shipping. Then we had an East Carolina University baseball jersey that sold. This was brand new with tags, picked up at, I believe, I don't think it was a Burlington. I think it was a Ross we picked that up at. My wife paid $4.99 for that, along with a bunch of other jerseys. It sold for $49.99 with free shipping. Now, next up, this very last Kohl's event we just had this past week, I picked up 4 Google Nest thermostats, and I paid $26 each for those. They were marked at, I believe, $75, and it was half off of that, which was $37. But when they rang up as $26. So great deal right there, and I had no idea. I was willing to buy them at $37. But one person came up and bought 3 of those, y'all. They paid a total of $195 with free shipping, so I made great money off of that, and they saved me shipping because I only had to ship one time. And you'll see that another one of those sold earlier this week too. One of them wasn't even up 12 hours before it sold. But next up, a Kenyo video rewinder, y'all. If y'all grew up watching VHS tapes, you may have had one of these laying around. I paid $10.50 for this at a thrift store, and you're probably thinking, why in the world did he pay so much for that? Well, it was brand new in the box, y'all. It had been opened, but that was it. This thing was brand new, and it sold for $39.99. The buyer paid $13.60, and it did not cost me that much to ship it. Continuing on, Nike Alpha Menace cleats. We paid $14 at Burlington for those. They sold for $39.99 with free shipping. And this right here was something I was happy to get rid of. This is something we sold on Amazon, and in shipping it was damaged and it got sent back to us, so we had to refund the buyer. Well, it sat in our floor in our den forever, and we couldn't figure out what to do with it. We finally decided to list it, and it has been listed a long time for parts, y'all. And what happened was the water jug for this Ninja coffee maker got busted in shipping, and so we sold this thing. You know, it's brand new, but it's missing the water holder. So if somebody had a machine that had quit on them, this would be a great replacement piece for them. And I mean, we sold it cheap, y'all. Anyways, it's a Ninja coffee maker, and it sold for $48.60, and the buyer paid $21.45 for the shipping. $48.60, we probably paid around that when we originally bought it. So just trying to recoup some money and not throw that away and make it available to somebody to help them out. And next up is the other Google Nest thermostat. As I said, I paid $26 for those, and it sold for $69.99 with free shipping. Then we had another Luke Combs crock set that sold for $49.99, and we had some kids Wally Hey Dudes. We paid $16.99 for those at a Marshall's, and they sold for $39.99 with free shipping. some underwear that I picked up at a Marshall's for $10 back in February, and I think I was in South Carolina when I went to Clemson down there for a work trip, and those sold for $23.74 with free shipping. Then we sold what I believe is one of my daughter's old unicorn plush, and that sold for $9, and the buyer paid $15.70 for the shipping on that, y'all. That's crazy. We had a Dr. Seuss hat that sold for $9, and I think I paid like $1 for that, and the buyer paid the shipping. We had a baseball, and I can't tell if that's shorts, yeah, like a baseball shirt and some shorts that sold together for $9, and the buyer paid shipping. Then we had a little tote, it's got robots on it, it's got a W embroidered on it. We picked that up at a yard sale for $0.25. Took a while to sell, sold for $8.10. The buyer paid shipping. This next one, y'all, a guy at work has brought me a couple things recently, and they have sold super fast and for great prices. Now, this piece right here is from the 1970s. It was made by a company called Empire, and it is from the Legends of the West series, and it is actually a store display that was never used. Everything was still brand new in it, and I talked to him about it. I looked around, couldn't find any that has ever sold in like the past 3 years, y'all, and I told him I valued it around $500. He thought it was worth more than that, so he said shoot for the moon. Well, I did. I listed it at $9. I listed it at $990 plus shipping, and I accepted offers on it, and we got 2 offers, and we went back and forth with the second one and came up with $698.11. And get this, the buyer paid $101.89 for shipping, y'all. Now, it did end up costing me $80 for shipping. I think I went FedEx, and I had to get signature confirmation. That cost a little extra, but y'all, it was worth it. As soon as they got it, they checked it over, they responded to me, told me everything was intact. They immediately left a positive feedback up there and said it was packaged well, everything arrived intact, and they'd be happy to do business with us again. So y'all, that was a great transaction. When I do transactions like that for other people, I figure in what it sold for, what the eBay fees are minus the shipping, and then I take a percentage of that I know I'm going to have to pay for taxes. If they want to give me anything on top of that, they can. So I'm going to take him the money that's remaining after my taxes and fees and all that stuff, and if he wants to give me a tip on top of that, that's fine. He did that last time, so we'll see what happens. Then we had some Michael Kors crew t-shirts that sold. I paid $8 for those at a Burlington, and they sold for $27.99 with free shipping. Then here was a mix-up from, I think it was Kohl's. This was a mix-up from Kohl's, y'all. I ordered 4 pairs of shoes. They shipped 3 pairs of shoes and a belt. I don't know, a Levi's belt was in there, but I got charged for the shoes. So I reached out to them, emailed them, told them what happened. They refunded my money for the shoes and told me to keep the belt for free. So I listed it up on eBay, and it didn't even take, I don't know, 2 weeks, y'all, and it sold for $23.74 with free shipping. Let's see, then we sold some Volcom boxer briefs. I picked those up at Marshall's for $10, and they sold for $23.74 with free shipping. Next, we have some women's Adalette slides. We paid $11 for those, I think, at a Rack Room, and they sold for $23.74, and the buyer paid $7 for shipping, and it did not cost us that much to ship those. And I think we're getting close to the end on eBay for the week. A 3-pack of Chaps boxer briefs. Paid $5 for those at a Walmart, and they sold for $21.95 with free shipping. Another pair of those Luke Combs Crocs, they sold for $47.49 with free shipping, and that is going to round it out over there on eBay. Now we're going to go over here to Mercari and look at what sold this week. We sold a Fairy iPad case, I'm sorry, that my mom and dad actually picked up at a local bin store for $1. It sold for $9.50, and of course they paid for the shipping on that. Then we sold one of those Zap It rechargeable bug zappers I bought couple years ago at Ollie's for $5. It sold for $10, and they paid the shipping on that. And then we sold some Vans, used Vans shoes I picked up at, I believe, a Goodwill, maybe $4 or $5. They sold for $15, and of course they're paying shipping on that. We sold some Nike Venom shorts. These are shorts that I think I paid $5 a piece for, and I bought those to get ungated in Nike over there on Amazon, and we're just trying to recoup our money on those. They sold for $9. Let's see. Then we had a Bluey. I don't know how. It's kind of like a light show. You just push the button on it, and it turns the lights on that go on the ceiling. Picked that up. I think at a Lowe's or Walmart. Maybe it was Walmart during like the half off Christmas event, and not sure what we paid for that, but it sold for $17. And then my wife had listed up our Halloween costumes from this past year, and this was like a coffee barista uniform that my daughter wore, and it was sold for $13. Now y'all, we're gonna go over what sold FBM. That's what we shipped out of here this week on Amazon. And let's see, I'm screen recording this so y'all can see. There's the two items that are unshipped that I'm getting ready to ship out. Then we're gonna go right here. We sold some women's Adelaide sandals for $40. We sold some more Adelaide slides for $44. We sold some other slides for $41.25. Then we have some Puma sporty sandals that my wife picked up recently at Rack Room Shoes, sold for $69.94. I'm just going to scroll through these things pretty quick and not show all the pictures, y'all. Some more Adelaide slides for $43.44. If y'all pay attention to the custom SKUs, you'll see a lot of times I have what I paid in there, like $10 for those. And then we had some Nike Flex Runners that sold for $45.98. And we have some a Nike roller bar that we shipped out that sold for $37.74. Some more Adelaide slides. Actually, that will be last Sunday, so we need to leave those off. Now, we're going to go over to what shipped out FBA. That is what Amazon actually shipped for us. That is our inventory that they hold in their warehouses, okay? Now, we have some stuff up here pending, and that's just stuff that hasn't gone through today, but we'll look at that. So, stuff that is still pending is some Adelaide comfort slides. You can see kind of how a lot of things sell. We send them in, and like then we hit the buy box, and they just kind of roll through. But we paid $10 for those. They sold for $45.67. $12 for these Chillo Sport sandals. They sold for $36.99. And then some more Chillos, some flip-flops. Paid $10 for those from Sierra.com, and they sold for $29.97. Then we have some Pumas. I'm not sure. I think those may be being shipped back to us or something. Sometimes you get returns and they're not sellable anymore. Either they got damaged, stained, or the boxes are messed up or something, and we end up getting it back. So that may be what that is. But let's see. There was definitely some Prime sales in there. Anything that says expedited at the top would be a Prime sale. That means it goes out immediately. Some Puma sporty sandals my wife picked up for $10, sold for $49.40. Some more sporty sandals sold for $51.07. More sporty sandals, $51.07. Some cleats, some Adazero cleats, they sold for $69.99, and those had to go out next day. Glad they were dealing with it, not me. Some more AFFLIATE slides, $43.92. My wife paid $14 for those at Nags Head, North Carolina, at a rack room down there. Then we have some a women's tank top. It's a maternity tank top, sold for $23.95. We had some Chillos flip-flops, some more of those tie-dye ones, sold for $29.97. Some more, $29.97, $29.97. We had some men's Adidas pants that sold for $43.99. We have some type of Nike shoe for $52.99. A Jaws action figure that we sent in a while back, $43.99. We only paid $9 for that at a Walmart. Something else that may be being shipped back to us, or that could be a shipment we sent in, not sure. Under Armour tank top sold for $24.99. Adidas shoes for $108.96. Not sure which one those were. Some more of those Puma sandals for $49.95. Some Nike Kawa slides for $39.99. Then we had some Chillos flip-flops for $29.97. Some more of those tie-dye ones. I keep going back and forth on the buy box on those. I had like 30 pair I sent in, and I'm getting some sales and somebody else is getting sales, and it just keeps getting bounced back and forth. Then we have some platform slides sold for $34.99. Some more of those flip-flops for $29.97. More for $29.97. And then another maternity tank top for $23.95. Some Adidas Cloud Foam shoes for $82.99. Another maternity tank top for $23.95. Some Adidas Originals crew socks, and those sold for $14.95. They sold very cheap because we have them listed cheap. We bought those to get ungated in Adidas Originals. Yes, Adidas and Adidas Originals are two different things. If you want to get ungated totally in Adidas, you have to do two separate orders to get ungated for those. Then we had some more of those Chillos flip-flops for $29.97, and that rounds it out, y'all. Anything else would have been before that. All right, y'all, I'm not sure how many things went out of here this week, but that was a lot of stuff, and you can tell it is really benefiting us by sending that stuff into Amazon so we don't have to deal with that stuff. Could you imagine if I had to ship all that stuff out of here and get it out next day, or get it those people in 2 days from North Carolina all the way to California? Y'all, that would be horrible. And that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to do that stuff, working 40-hour jobs and then coming home and shipping this stuff and having to worry about if it gets there on time or not. Well, now it's in Amazon's hands. They have to deal with it. But y'all, I'm gonna sign off here. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope you got some ideas where you might find some stuff that you can turn around and flip, and hope you got some ideas on, maybe if you want to venture out and try some different platforms. Maybe you're stuck on eBay and you haven't tried anything else. I would recommend maybe trying out Mercari if you're on eBay. It's another place to pick up a few sales here and there. Poshmark, I recommend Poshmark, but your fees are much higher, 20% over there, which I can't say too much because Amazon takes some hefty fees sometimes too, y'all. There's some items that they cost a premium to sell up there. So if you got any questions about it though, please leave a comment down below. If you liked anything you saw here, please consider subscribing to the channel. At least give me a like, give me a comment down below. I'd appreciate it. But y'all, thanks for being here, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.